Thank you, everyone. And now it is my honor to welcome to the stage NAF student Jada Harris, new NAF graduate Anai Ramos Silva, and NAF alumni Ray Lopez and James Moshegan. I am thrilled to be moderating this panel of my peers and to dig into the NAF student and alumni experience. I'd love for each of you to take a moment to tell us what academy you are a part of. And we can start with you.
Sure. My name is James Moshegan. I was a part of the Academy of Engineering at W.T. White High School class of 2018.
My name is Ray Lopez. I'm from Harmony Magnet Academy of Engineering from Porterville, part of the Porterville Unified School District.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anai Ramos Silva. I am a recent graduate from the Health Academy from Porterville High School.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jada Harris. I am from Detroit, Michigan, Henry Ford High School, Academy of IT, and I am a rising junior.
So this next set of questions will be for all four of you. Why did you join your NAF Academy? And we can start with you, Jada, and then come back.
Okay, so in middle school, I was really fascinated by robotics, and my coach actually recommended a lot of high schools that had good robotics teams and everything like that. And so Henry Ford was one of those high schools. And so, I joined it, and I'm thinking I'm gonna have the best time. I am. And I go straight in, and the first class I actually have in the morning is a computer science class. And I just think it's cool to just be a ninth grader inside that class and just be able to access all that stuff immediately. Then you go into 10th grade and you learn robotics and everything like that. It's just it's really amazing. At first I didn't even know it was a NAF Academy until I joined NAF Future Ready Scholars. But I was proud to find out that it was a NAF Academy.
I had always aspired to become a doctor, but now that I think of it, I think it was because it was the one career I was exposed to growing up. I had, with the mentality to explore my interest in the medical field, I enrolled in the Partnership Academy of Health Sciences. My goal was to explore various careers within the industry to see whether my aspiration to become a doctor would change.
And I think for me, the main reason is, so my parents came from Mexico, and very young, I knew that I had a choice to make. I could either pick oranges for the rest of my life, or I could work in an office somewhere and try to help change the world. And so for me, I knew from a young age that I wanted to do something big, get an education, and potentially go into engineering. The problem was I didn't know any engineers that looked like me. And when I found out that Harmony Magnet Academy had an engineering program, I knew that was gonna be the place that would give me the best exposure to what I wanted to become.
And yeah, for me, I think as a young child, I sort of always knew I would be into STEM. When I was young, I learned about my grandfather, who was a scientist who did research with the Walter Reed research facility, and as well as UT Dallas. And I remember hearing about this invention that he came up with, something that he was doing research with the team and everything. And as a child, I was 5 years old, and I thought that was amazing, right? And I put it together that I wanted to be an inventor, And later that evolved into engineering. So when I was in middle school and I was presented with the opportunity to sign up for a STEM academy, I knew that I would have to do it. So yeah.
What enticed you about this what is it about this opportunity that enticed you? If anyone would like to start off,
Yeah, sure. I'll start off.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So what enticed me about my school, like I said, you go in ninth grade, you're working on programming and stuff like that. 10th grade, robotics, and in ninth grade, I was given the opportunity to join a dual enrollment program with Lawrence Technological University. So now when I graduate high school, I will also graduate with an associate's degree in cybersecurity. And then after that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm staying in this school. It's amazing. Thank you.
apart from learning about the various careers within the medical industry, I was intrigued to network with students who share the similar aspirations as me. Not only that, but I think the difference between being a pathway student and a non-pathway student is the different opportunities the academy itself offers. I think being part of an academy just offers a more well-rounded experience of what college life may look like.
For me, I think, personally speaking, joining an academy really gave me a purpose and made me understand why I was taking the classes that I was taking. Suddenly, math had applications. Suddenly, science was tied into a project. Suddenly, everything was more hands-on experience, and it allowed me to really learn and to really hone in on my skill set so that I had better refined my purpose.
Yeah, and I think following up on what Ray said, it was something that gave me a lot of structure, and I was able to, make friends in there and apply what I was learning in my math classes, and I think the engineering classes that I was taking were always my favorite, and so yeah.
What's different from your academy than other programs at your school? And we can start with, do you mind starting off? Or?
Sure. Yeah, like I said, the NAF Academy was different because it forced us to apply stuff, right? We were getting to work hands-on. We were doing stuff like we would design, balsa wood bridges and test their stresses, right? Or we would design these gliders, right? We weren't doing anything like that in our other classes. We would do projects, but it was always like a folder or something like that. It wasn't something that was mechanically driven, And that's really where my passion for mechanical engineering came from, was from doing that, being a part of that program,
For me, it was really just honing in on the project-based learning applicability. So, for example, sophomore year, we're reading the book Life of Pi. Maybe you guys have read the book, maybe you guys have seen the movie. The book is a little bit better. But it was not just a reading assignment in our English class. Suddenly, in our engineering classes, we were learning about buoyancy factors, about modeling ships, and then we actually got to build the ship and really tied it all together. So it just really coordinating everything between not just math and science, but also bringing in English classes and making it fun for a high school student.
I think that the Health Academy offers unique experiences that are very inclusive, exciting, but above all, hands-on. Students have the exceptional opportunity to learn to perform the essential nursing skills, ranging from recording pulse sites, recording blood pressure, measuring heights. By the end of the program, the students graduate being able to perform a full body health assessment.
I would say that it's different in other classes that I'll take at my school and everything like that. It's super different. You're more hands-on. There's students teaching other students things that they know. We have some 3D printing experts in the robotics class, or people who really know how to program. And so it's like we're teaching each other. It's not just the instructor teaching us.
Through your NAF Academy, what kind of activities have you participated in where you learned about career options?
We have speakers coming in from different backgrounds all over the United States, and they come in and speak to us about IT, careers in IT. So we had speakers come in from NASA, UTI, LTU. We had cybersecurity experts coming in from AAA to really educate us about how safe you have to be online and everything like that. I really just think that it really helped me decide that I wanted to go into cybersecurity.
I have participated in various job shadowing internships where I have had the chance to learn more about the different medical careers. I have also participated with organizations such as American Red Cross, Future Health Professionals, where I have obtained my CPR and HIPAA certifications earlier than what I thought. These organizations provide the space where I can apply the skills learned inside the classroom outside in my community while taking on a leadership role.
That's a good one. So I would say for me, So engineering is extremely diverse, and there's so many paths you can take, and then there's even further than that, there's further loopholes you can stick yourself into. So really being a part of a NAF Academy and identifying what the different engineering pathways exist out there maybe put me in an advantaged position when I went into college, because suddenly I knew what I wanted to do, and NAF really created that avenue and allowed me to do so.
Yeah, and for me, I remember we would take trips to different places. Like I remember one time we took a trip to TD Industries, which I think was an engineering or architectural firm. And we got to see the process, like the manufacturing process and the design process and all different kinds of things. And that kind of put an image in my mind of what kind of my future would look like, right? And so I think that was one of the moments that I realized I wanted to pursue engineering.
How have these experiences helped shape your vision of your future?
I'll go.
Okay.
So it has it made me realize that like there's so many different like careers that you can go into in IT. Like the speakers will come in again, like I said, and they'll like talk about their story and like how they like went through their process of going into their career choices. Like some of them said they dropped out a little bit and then they came back into it when they realized that like that's what they wanted to do. And it really helped me think that like, you know, maybe it isn't for me, maybe it is. I was like really wondering and like questioning myself, but now I am like certain that I really want to go to college for cybersecurity. It's like I'm really certain that's what I'm doing.
These experiences have confirmed my interest in science. After networking with my teachers who themselves are nurses and with my classmates, I have realized that being a doctor is not what I aspire to be. Actually, I plan to major in human biology to become a pediatric oncologist.
I think for me, so I have a mentality that goes, without vision, people fall essentially. And kind of like what Anai was saying, doing a NAF Academy may not necessarily put you in a route to which the academy propels you to go into, but you can take the elements from the academy and apply them somewhere else. If you're in an engineering academy and you don't necessarily want to be an engineer, suddenly you can take the elements of just solving problems, applying math and science, and take the same application into computer science or into health and science, etc. So the NAF Academy really creates that vision or that purpose, and then you can take it and really make the experience for yourself after that.
Yeah, and I think that the NAF Academy really did give me an idea of what I would be doing and what I wanted to do in mechanical engineering, and working with people, giving presentations and little things like having professional dress days and doing reports and stuff. That just kind of prepared me for what I would be for what I'm going to do now, honestly, and what I've been up to. And I always think back every day when I'm working on a new project to the stuff that I learned from the academy and how I'm still applying it today.
The Future Ready Scholars Program are student residential summer programs NAF is implementing with several colleges. These programs immerse students into college culture while providing them with a career-relevant curriculum that aligns them with college programs. These questions are for Jada and Anai. What's the Future Ready Scholars Program all about?
Well, I will say the Future Ready Scholars Program is about like community, opportunity, and innovation. Last year the pandemic and everything like that, we had to do it virtually. But even though it was virtual, like you still had it was very wonderful. You would wake up in the morning, you would talk and eat like breakfast with your peers and mentors, and then like in the afternoon you go to your classes and they have activities like yoga. They give you like things like plants where you could grow inside your home, and like it was just really wonderful. Everybody was friendly, and it's just like the community is like a family. Like it's just so wonderful. I just love it.
The Future Ready Scholars is a 3-year STEM program. In my case, partner with the University of Berkeley in California. While there, students take rigorous college-level courses to get exposed and get an early glimpse of what college life is. As I mentioned earlier, I aspire to become a pediatric oncologist. It was through the program that I confirmed my interest. The last year, which was as a rising senior, I was given the opportunity to conduct research. The topic was broad. I could conduct research about any disease. I chose cancer. I had to come up with a solution to combat cancer. During my research, I encountered CRISPR-Cas9, which is essentially a gene editing tool. Since after conducting the research and giving my presentation to my peers, I learned that I was passionate about the study of cancer. I essentially want to become a pediatric oncologist to research the possibility of using gene editing to alter a human's DNA and prevent cancer in the hopes of becoming a cancer-free world. So essentially, the Future Ready Scholars Program provided the resources needed to look for what I was really passionate about.
What have you learned about college and college life through this program?
I learned a lot about college life. I learned that some people don't even stay at the dorms. They have drive miles to get to college sometimes. Since the Future Ready Scholars Program that I go to is partnered with U of M. And so we was talking, and our mentors are from the university, so you really get it straight from their mouths. I think it's credible because they always talk about the pros and cons, so it's just not all about the good things, it's always about some of the bad things. For example, they say there's a lot of work they gotta do, they gotta rush to class and everything like that, but they do say on their days off, there's a lot of things to do, and I guess it gives you an idea of college life and the college experience.
I think one of the best parts of the Future Ready Scholars Program is the college preparation courses offered. Weekly, we held workshops that looked to answer the question of how do I get into college? What should I consider when looking into colleges? My parents, being both field workers, always claimed the value of education. They emphasize education is one of the few things you truly own, so invest in it. It's yours. Thus, I was expected to go to college. But as a first-generation student, the question of how do I get there remained. Essentially, the Future Ready Scholars Program guided me through there. I was able to apply to college through Questbridge, which is a low-income program that offers full-ride scholarships to students who are accepted into the program. Essentially, I didn't think I was gonna get in. I got in, I became a finalist, and with the guidance of my academic advisor through the Future Ready Scholars Program, I was able to obtain a full-ride scholarship to Claremont McKenna College in California.
Now, the NAF experience doesn't end at graduation. So we wanted to catch up with some NAF alumni. Ray and James, these questions are for you. What have you been up to since you graduated?
I can start it off. Okay. Well, since I graduated, right after high school, I started at a community college and I got my associate's degree in mechanical engineering. And then after that, I went to UT Dallas. So I'm currently attending UT Dallas. I just finished my first semester. And the big thing about UT Dallas that I've been a part of, the biggest thing has been the Dallas Formula Racing team at my school. So basically we get funding for this formula car and we race it against other colleges, right? And being part of that team has taught me a lot about just working with others, and it's also given me a chance to, polish up my 3D modeling skills, and also a chance to kind of get a taste of what it's like to work at a company. Working with manufacturing, controls, engine and drivetrain team, different things. I think it's given me a lot of exposure, and it's kind of preparing me for my future career as a mechanical engineer, hopefully in the automotive industry or possibly the aerospace and defense industry. So yeah, that's what I'm currently been up to.
So a little bit of background. After attending the NAF Academy in Puerto Rico, California, beautiful weather, maybe 100 degrees, kind of like how it is outside. I was dead tired of the heat. So I went to Alaska and attended the University of Alaska Fairbanks, where I studied engineering up there. And I got the opportunity to intern with a cool company called BP. And I was up there and I got the opportunity to rotate a couple times up to the North Slope, Prudhoe Bay. And I think I experienced negative 75 degrees Fahrenheit, right? And it was extremely cold. And I said, all right, maybe the cold isn't for me. So I came back to Houston. And now I'm in Houston supporting deep water operations with BP America.
What lessons from your NAF Academy experience have proven valuable in college and work?
I could start that off. So there's a lot of lessons that I could pull from within NAF, but I think the single most, and this goes to all the educators and the administrators out there, is having the heart of giving back is extremely important. There's this quote by G.K. Chesterton that goes, "Rome wasn't great because it was loved. It was loved." Oh, sorry, I messed that up. Rome wasn't loved. Rome wasn't great because it was. Never mind. Anyways, it's a good quote. But the purpose and the intent is that you have to love things in order for them to become good, right? Because love essentially is the binding force that gives things purpose. And so when I went to Alaska, I just had that passion that the educators had upon me for the past 4 years. And I saw a lot of students that had a need. And I knew that there was a need that I could fill. So I started the first Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers chapter and the first National Society of Black Engineers chapter in the state of Alaska, all because I took the elements from my teachers that are sitting over here.
Yeah, and that's hard to follow, huh?
Well, just don't mess up a quote and you'll be good.
Don't mess up the quote and I'll be fine. No, I think the biggest takeaway from the NAF Academy was like working with others. You know, I have friends from the NAF Academy that I'm still friends with today, and some that have still, that have pursued engineering like me. And every time I'm, working with people like on the formula team, for example, I think back to all the things I learned and how I'm applying them right now. Like, for instance, when I'm doing 3D modeling or something, that's something that I learned in the NAF Academy. And so when I got to my class, I kind of had like a step up from some others. And I think another thing is stuff from my mentors that I had at the NAF Academy. They were some of the ones who really pushed me, to pursue engineering.
Talk to me about participating in NAF's Alumni Mentorship program. What's the experience been like?
So I can start off real quick. So just for context, I was James' mentor for about 6 months or so. Obviously, it doesn't end whenever the program ends, but that was the defined period. And I actually think that mentors might learn more from the mentees because it's almost a reverse mentorship process. For me, it was extremely valuable because he's in college, and I think sometimes I can get tied into the busyness of work and life and kind of forget why I studied engineering. And then you see someone that's younger coming into it with just all this passion and thrill, and it just reminds me, wow, what we're doing is cool. It's extremely cool, and it's extremely technical and challenging, and we're solving problems every single day. So I learned more from his energy than I feel like he might have learned from me, but I don't know, Jay.
That is debatable. I will argue on that. No, Ray has been fantastic, and from the moment I went into the mentorship program, I knew that, and we took a little bit different paths. I know petroleum engineering. I'm doing mechanical engineering. He's doing petroleum engineering, but there are some similarities. We've taken like some of the same classes, been through some of the same experiences, but just having someone who's like gone through the same path as me and who can give me advice on such specific stuff, I've never really had that before. And there are just little things like him helping me polish up my resume, or just giving me general life advice, or giving me a plan for like every single year, on New Year's, just coming up with like a plan for goals that I want to set in that year. It's just things like that just, I feel very grateful to have him in my life, and I hope to keep in touch.
And a quick shout out to Susan that fostered the program.
Yes.
And Dr. Fisher Taylor. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
These questions are for all. What would you like the educators in this room today to know?
I think I can start that off. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that's made this possible, because without the NAF Academy, I'm not sure I would be on the path that I am now. There's always things that when I'm working on something, I'm always thinking back to things that I learned from NAF and how that gave me the structure that I needed to do what I'm doing today.
Big one for me is that what you are doing is making an impact, and you're planting a lot of seeds in a lot of young lives. And I personally look back and I realize if it weren't for the efforts from the early administrators in the Puerto Rico Unified School District maybe 10 or 15 years ago, I probably wouldn't be here today. You guys are planting seeds every single day, and as long as you guys continue to water them, you're only with students for 4 years, but those 4 years can be impactful for the rest of their lives. Thank you guys. Thank you all.
Yes.
First of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you, Portable High School staff. Thank you, thank you. These experiences have been very life-changing. After my experience with the Health Academy and the Future Ready Scholars Program, I was left with an increase in confidence and self-development. I had gone beyond the horizons of the Central Valley to learn about science and society away from the comfort of my home. Please note that despite graduating from the academy and the program, I will continue to work with NAF, whether that means going to my high school to talk to students like myself, to make them become aware about the different paths that they can take for the next chapter in life. Thank you.
I would like to say thank you as well to like all the staff at my school, like NAF, like everyone here. Like I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to just speak in front of like all these people. You know, I never thought that I was gonna ever like achieve such things at like the age of 16. And to me, I just think it's really amazing. Like now, like when I leave here, I just want to let everyone know that like NAF is a thing, and like it should be like all over the world and everything like that. So I just want to say thank you.
How else can the people in this room support students like you?
I could start that off. I would say, spread what you know. Mentor people, because for me, it was the mentors in my life that really made the difference. I feel like every day I'm learning new things from people that are already, 3 steps ahead of me, that are already on that path that I want to be on, or that are already at the job that I want to be at, right? I'm always taking from my teachers. I'm always taking from people that are working in companies that I want to work at. Just spread as much knowledge as you can to the people that need it, to the kids and the students that need it.
I know the students might not want to hear this, but push them. Continue to push them. It's kind of like a coach mentality, and this is what my coach, Jeremy Blackwell, used to always tell us, that a coach is someone that's willing to take you to places that you're not able to take yourself. And so that's what you guys do as administrators, is continue to push your students in a loving way and in a good way, and make sure you do it out of a place and an intent with purpose in mind, and help them understand why they are studying what they're studying and who they're studying it for. Because now you've given them an identity that they can carry forever past high school.
Going off from what Ray said, I think support system is really critical. And apart from that, I think programs like the Future Ready Scholars Program and the experiences offered through the NAF Academies can really help students become aware of the different possible careers that they can take, on not only careers, but plans after high school. I think there's becoming aware and not being aware. I think that can make a huge difference in a student's life.
Yeah, I think like I agree with everybody right here just said. Like spread the word. Like, and educators let your students know that like there are like opportunities out there for them, like the Future Ready Scholars Program. Like I was like this close to not even doing it until like that little push. And it's like, oh, you got this. I will support you the whole way. And after I felt that security, I was like, okay, if I need any help, if anything happens, I'll just come to my educators. I'll just come to my teachers, my family. And my mother has been such a help, like with just making sure I get everything, even though it was virtual. I wasn't even in the state of Michigan when I did it. I was like in North Carolina, and they still let me do it. So they were really pushing for me to do it. And I just want to thank you all again for this, giving me the opportunity.
I want to thank you all for sharing your stories and powerful insights. It's been an honor to be part of this special event. Thank you.